Hey guys, welcome back. It's your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm back with some more Blood Reds. Guys, we're going to jump right back into it. Again, flipping back and forth between up and down, like I did in the previous videos. Now we're really going to start getting stuck in with some action going on in this video. So we again have our 3 109s and our 3 Spitfires over there. It looks like we have 1 neutral here, 2 advantaged, and then 2 neutral and 1 advantaged over there, but that's definitely going to change up in this one. Now, with the beginning of this turn, with the 4 here being neutral, it's going to start with our 4 advantaged there, and then of the advantage planes, we're going to have this one and that one. So, yeah, it's going to be flipping back and forth again. He's going to go, and then he's going to go. Then he's going to go, so it's going to be ding, ding, ding. That's going to be easy. And then the rest are neutral, which means he's going to go, then he's going to go, and then he's going to go. So it flips back and forth. No kidding. That's why I like this. I keep telling you, the initiative system, when people go, like in what order and does it change, that really affects the game on whether or not it's going to solo well. And the fact that it changes up is the big thing. That's what you're looking for. All right, so let's take and get started again here with our 109. Again, we've got our little sheet here. Activation order, activating a fighter. Remember, we can start with shoot, then burn advantage, do our move, and a pilot action. Now, what I'm looking at here is, remember, I'm flying him into this cloud cover, okay? So there's no reason for him not to burn advantage because he's going to go to neutral. Automatically happens when you go into a cloud. You also can't shoot into or out of a cloud, and you can't perform a pilot action while you're in a cloud as well. So you can't fly in there and do a climb action to get advantage because you're always going to leave a cloud as neutral. That's just always going to happen. But again, that gives you the ability to kind of give a free burn advantage because you are neutral. You can burn the advantage down to the disadvantage, but you're going to leave the cloud if you're still in it as neutral anyway. So it kind of gives you that freebie. Think of clouds very much like debris or asteroids in X-Wing. They operate so similar in how the game functions. With the exception that if a ship in X-Wing is on a asteroid, it can still be shot at. It can even shoot through the asteroid. You can't do that here. And it is the same, though, in this, that if you're in a cloud on the token or on the asteroid in X-Wing, you can't shoot. So that does operate together. So let's move him. Get our little measuring stick here. Get my little fat butt up. Oh, and I bumped the plane. And again, bear with me because I have to do this one-handed. So what we're going to do is I'm going to burn advantage for him, but not for speed, but for movement. That way I'm going to hit him up to a 7. And let me go ahead and drop him down to neutral since I know that's what he's going to be, but up to an 180-degree turn at any point. We're going to go ahead and go with his full movement. And I think I kind of want to point him that way so he can go farther. Let's try to slide this off and be roughly there. That way he can come into the cloud and woof, come down and get onto these Spitfires as they come down. So with him done, that means we're going to number 3 over here. And sorry if you guys heard anything, that was the vacuum cleaner running for the wife. So it was emptying itself. My apologies. I hope I cut that out. All right, so he's done. Let's mark him with a thing. Again, no pilot action to worry about taking, so he's good. Now, what do we want to do here? Things are going to get hectic, but like I said, I think I want to focus in on these guys. He's advantaged. He needs to be getting on them. He couldn't. What I'm looking at over here is he can't outmaneuver him. To do an outmaneuver, They compare pilot skill to reduce enemies' advantage level by 1, but I believe you have to be in a different position. I don't think you can just be pointing at them in any direction. Let me check that just to be sure. Nope. Okay, so this will work. He has to be within 9 inches, and it's all about the pilot skill, not the position. So what I'm thinking is he can outmaneuver him to drop him an advantage level if he gets within 9 inches. So let's have him come down his 7, and we're going to give him just a slight pivot down this direction, just slight, so he can come towards these guys. I'll move this over, and you guys are going to have to bear with me. And I don't think I'm going to be within the 9. Nope. So if he were a touch closer, a few inches closer, I could do the outmaneuver on him. And since his pilot skill's a 3 versus his 2, it'd be an automatic success. But since it is not, then he does not get to do that. So, well, I'm thinking I could have burned advantage to go faster, but if I burn advantage to go faster, I could have added 6 inches to the movement, which, because bear with me, I'm learning it as I go a little bit. If I had done that, I would have got farther, but he would be neutral against him, but he could still drop him down to a neutral. But that wouldn't do him any good for shooting, but he could still climb back up to advantaged as his pilot action. So no, because his pilot action would be the outmaneuver. All right, so we're going to end him there. I'm working it out like what my possibilities could have been. All right, so that takes care of our advantaged aircraft there. We got one more advantaged aircraft, this one. And he definitely wants to stay advantaged. And I'm wanting to make sure when I start the shooting that I'm doing it right, because there is adjustments depending on what angle you're shooting at someone for. So want to get tailing, want to get on these guys 6. All right. I might have him fly down towards this cloud instead. Maybe go after the Spitfires. If they break away down south, then the Spitfires swarm in on them. Then the highest pilot skill Ace 109 can come down and get on their 6 and start trying to pick them off to get boom chits in. Okay, so yeah, that'll work. If he burns advantage, he could move up to an extra 6 inches. Potentially get into that cloud. Okay, yeah, we're going to have him dive. We're going to have him burn advantage. All right. Have him burn the advantage, get an extra 6 inches of movement. We're not doing a great dive. We're just doing a regular. So there's his initial 7. And see how much farther this 6 gets up on him. With me, with my sloppy movements. Oh, he is just a touch shy. No, he barely makes the cloud. He barely makes the cloud. He's just in it right there. So he is in the cloud. All right, that'll work for him. No pilot action for him then, since he is in the cloud. Takes care of him. But that makes it to where he's not going to be worrying about getting shot at or anything like that, since he's covered by the cloud for the moment. And maybe he could take, and as he moves out of the cloud later on, in fact, I'm going to have him, no, I can't move him now. I was going to say I could have him move. Yeah, he would have been able to move at the end of his movement. He still would have got his 45. Have him go that way just a bit. That way he could go down here and then do like a 180, like a flip around and come up on their 6 on a later turn. Perfect. Okay, so now that's those 3. Those were our original 3 advantaged aircraft, and 2 of them are finishing this round as neutral. 1 is still advantaged. So now we're to our neutral aircraft. And we have this guy. We could play a great turn to start him. The tight turn card. Let's see. On a plane with this trait during its movement, the plane may make its normal 45 degree turn at any point in its movement, not just the end. what I'm thinking is either turning him up this way to cut off that ace, or turning him down this way and avoiding the cloud. Thinking maybe cut down this direction instead. So we're going to play this card. We're going to play our tight turn. Let him make up to a 45-degree turn at any point. And we're definitely not doing a full 45. We're just barely going to edge down here to miss that. And we have to move at minimum 4 inches. So we're going to move at least the 4. So he could go there at a minimum and use that cloud as a cover. Or do I want to go farther? Yeah, I've got to go the 4 because I'm going to have to probably burn advantage on the next turn to get a bigger turn to get around this cloud because I don't want to fly off the board. So yeah, we're going to have him do that. And as his pilot action, he's going to bring it back up to advantaged. All right, so a lot of plotting, a lot of maneuvering going on. Yeah. So we've got a pilot skill 2 left, pilot skill 3 left. Let's go with our pilot skill 3. And what does he want to do? Well, he doesn't have the ability to do a tight turn. But if he burns, well, if he burns advantage, it won't matter because he's not going to be able to take a shot because he's advantaged. That's the biggest thing about this game. It's not just, I'm like, okay, get him in your gun sights. Well, it's not just getting him in your gun sights. You've got to get him in your gun sights and be in a better position than him. It's hard to get planes to actually be able to shoot at each other in this game. I'll tell you, man, you really got to think through what you're doing. You can't just fly at the enemy and joust like you can in X-Wing. I like that. It really, it's more chess-like. All right, what maneuver are you going to make? All right, well, I want to keep him there so he can kind of cover. All right, what if we do something similar? I got an idea. All right, so we're going to do, okay, if I burn advantage on him, that'll drop him down to neutral, or drop him down to disadvantaged. But I would end up there, and I could turn about a 45, go in that direction maybe, and bring him back up to neutral as well with his pilot action. So yeah, we're going to race him in. We're going to do our 7 and then 6. So there's our 7. Move that down just a bit. He is dropping to disadvantage, so this isn't good for him, but we'll see if this pans out. And then we're going to finish it off with another 6 inches because I'm not playing a great dive card, which would have got him just a little bit farther. And we're going to finish with a 45-degree turn. Definitely going to use the marker on this one because I am probably moving him up to its maximum movement, maximum turn value. All right, like so. Ooh, not quite as much as I was hoping that would be, but that's the end of his movement. And we're going to do a pilot action for him of climbing. Definitely want to bring this back up to neutral, although he's still in the gun sights over here, so he could be shot at by this guy starting his turn on the next one because, yeah, that 90-degree angle is enough to have him in the gun sights because, like, see, right there, it goes right across. So he's going to take fire on the next round. There's absolutely nothing he can do about it. All right. What do we want to do here? We got one guy left and gonna move, and I think it's gonna depend on whether or not a short move is going to bring him up short of that cloud or not. And I think it just barely is. Don't bump that ME 109. Yeah, I want to keep him out of the cloud for the moment. All right, so he's gonna end up right there doing the shortest move. So let's pull that off. A game of millimeters, and I'm picking the planes up and moving them as I go. Gotta have fun with it. And that's the big thing. It's all about just having fun with the game, guys. And I'm bumping this guy. All right, so here's the thing. Am I turning him left? Am I turning him right? I can get out of the cloud this way. I don't think I'm going to get out of the cloud that way. So what I might do is have him come up this way, maybe to get on the 6 of that ace as he tries to dip down. That's my thought process. We'll have to see how these rounds play out. All right, turn him as such. And then for his pilot action, we're going to bring him up to advantaged, because unfortunately he doesn't have anyone he can shoot at. He's got him in range. He could have shot if the cloud hadn't been there, but the cloud's there, so that definitely F's that up for him. All right, so I got a couple minutes. We're going to try to run one more round and see what happens. All right, who's advantaged, who's what? Oh, damn. All the Spitfires are advantaged, and all the German 109s are neutral. I'll be damned. It worked out well for him in that regard. So all the Spitfires are going to go first, and then all the 109s are going to go first, which means this guy is definitely taking a shot because he's got a line unobscured by this cloud here. I definitely wanted to get some shots going, so he's got firepower of 1 and his pilot skill of 4. Let me look real quick, because that is basically a head-on shot, and I want to make sure I'm doing this right. And yeah, definitely got him in range. Absolutely no problem there. Position shooting, let's tilt down, head-on attacks. Shooting attack that comes from the front arc of the target plane is called a head-on attack. In this case, the target is allowed to counterattack by shooting back regardless of their advantage state. Well, no shit. The exchange of shooting attacks is simultaneously resolved even if one of the planes involved is shot down. That won't happen here because no one's disadvantaged, so they can't be shot down. Target aircraft attacks are assumed to be in the front arc 2, so there's no need to position the range template at all. Okay, so that does mean he's going to get to shoot back. And it's unfortunate, but we'll give it to him. So 5 dice onto him, and then he's going to get 4 dice back onto Chimera. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to roll our dice, and if he scores a hit, he loses an advantage level unless he performs a maneuver test and passes it, which is his agility plus his pilot skill. So we're hoping for 2 of these, because that means critical hit. No, that's a miss. It doesn't matter, 5s, 4s, any of that good stuff. That is just a flat out miss. So no boom chits are scored. Whack. So no agility test needs to be made. Let's roll for him, see what he gets. Oh, and the ME-109 gets a critical. Oh no, I have to re-roll that shit. Damn. I hate it when I do that, but I gave him 1 too many dice in return. So we've got to roll again. His pilot skill is only 3, not 4. Well, he's already scored the hit. Does he get a critical? No, doesn't get a critical, but he did get a hit. So that means the first boom chit scored is going against the Spitfires. I'm going to place that here on the corner. One's hit against the Spitfires are going to be placed over here, and one's against the ME-109 is going to be placed over here. First side to inflict 4, and the other is going to win. And now we've got to do our dodge test, which, remember, shooting, top number plus pilot skill. Dodging is medium or middle number plus pilot skill. So he's going to get 7 dice. That's good stuff. And he needs to have one of these be successful to not lose a level of advantage. And he misses with all of it. Damn. Hitting those spades is not working well for our Spitfires. Now, just in case you're like me and you have double 6 dice that you like to use, just understand that your 6s are the numbers that you need to roll for. It's just one side. So, I mean, hell, you could use 1s if you wanted to. Whatever, just one number on the D6 is good. So he did not do well in his attack. Not only did he miss, bad, so you're not high pilot skill, you suck. Not only did he miss, but he also got hit and failed his test. Pull all these off. So now he's down to neutral, and that's not good because he has to burn advantage. Well, maybe. If I don't burn advantage, it's going to be close making it to where I don't run off this board. So I'm going to burn advantage with him, even though I don't want to, just to ensure that I don't move off the board to give him enough turning space. So I want to go more than 4. We'll go 5 inches, and he can turn up to 180 degrees. So pretty much any direction. We're going to turn him back in this direction. So he is at a disadvantaged state, and we're going to have his pilot action now be climbing to get back that advantage level that he lost. So basically turning him away from the board, maybe just a touch more, have him go up in this direction for the later turns, because that just, that sucked. Damn, I was hoping that would go better, but that's all right. We'll have to see what happens on the next one. All right, so our next guy is going to be this one up over here. And if I move forward just a little bit. All right, do I have any more of those cards left? I do have. Well, nope, he's in the cloud. I can't shoot him. I cannot shoot him. Damn. All right. So I think what we're going to do here instead. All right, so what we're going to do with this fella instead is we are going to burn advantage to give him an extra up to 180 degree turn. He is going to come out to here, and he is going to turn this direction so he can come back down over here on them, and then he's going to finish out his pilot action climbing, so he is back up to an advantage state. So no shot can be taken. And yeah, I was just thinking maybe outmaneuver this guy, but it doesn't matter. He's got the cloud advantage there working in his favor, so no bueno. And now we've got one fellow left. Let's see here. We are going to go forward with our last Spitfire. Bumped it just a little bit. And don't bump that fella too much. He's going to move his full 7, and he's going to turn. Ooh, I should probably do this with the marker because I'm going to have a good amount of turning going on with him. And he's going to turn up north to go after this guy. All right. As such. And that takes care of him. All right, so Spitfires. Yeah, there's nothing else he could do with his pilot action, but at least he's still advantaged. He's good there. I was trying to think, is there anything else I could do? There's nothing else I can really do. They've got these clouds working in their favor, but he can go after him, keep him covered, because if he comes out of this cloud and gets in on his 6 slotted in, then he's going to be tailing him. But he can't tail him with this guy having his arc covering his 6, because you can't be tailing while you're in an enemy's arc. It's the wingman strategy in this game. Like how they have that in there. You're supposed to cover your planes. This fella is going to have problems because he doesn't have someone with him, but I'm thinking I'm going to boom out with him on the next turn. All right, so now it actually is our farthest enemy 109. All our Spitfires have gone, and he is going to burn advantage because there's no reason not to. And for me, it's just what does he want to do with that advantage? Because he's going to come out neutral no matter what. So unfortunately, he can't get a shot off here anywhere. So it's just, where does he want to end up? And I'm thinking, like, okay, do I want to scoot out like real far? Get in his face, past this guy? Or do I want to just come out a little bit and be pointing at him? Like right in here on his 6, climb, so then he's advantage on the next turn, and a higher pilot skill, which means he'll be able to shoot first, but that actually doesn't work for him because they're still at the same advantage level, which means he wouldn't be able to do it, and he still wouldn't be able to get a tailing bonus. There's a lot to think about on where you're moving here. All right, we're going to do it with the movement instead of the extra speed, just to make sure he can move wherever he wants to when he comes out of this cloud. So he can move minimum of 4 or up to the 7. So there's the 5, the 6, the 7. He could get all the way up to here. And I think we want to go as far as possible and have him basically just turn in on this guy's ass. That way he's ready for the next turn. And yeah, up to 180 degrees, he can pretty much be pointing anywhere he wants at this point. And we're going to finish it off with a pilot action of climbing, because he definitely wants to be advantaged to give him some options for the next turn. So that takes care of him. We got 2 guys left, both at neutral. This fellow is going to be coming through. Now, if he burns advantage for the extra turn, because he climbed back up, he's at neutral, so he can't get a shot. You have to have the higher level, the better level, to get in on someone. Ooh, I think I see a better idea, because if he goes through here and then cuts, he can get onto Dummy's butt over here. That way there's tailing here. He'll be tailing there, and this guy can come in and slot in on him. So the ME-109s might not be in the best of positions, like the advantage-wise, to actually get their shots off, but they'll be behind at least one of each one of the Spitfires. So yeah, that'll work for him. All right, we're going to do that. He's going to fly through this cloud. He's going to burn advantage, which is going to drop him down to neutral, right? Or drop him down to disadvantage. But by flying through the cloud, it's going to bump him right back up to neutral. So burning the advantage will allow him to make up to the 180 degree turn. So he can finish basically pointing around over here towards that guy's butt. And let's make sure, and I bumped the overhead. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Let's make sure he's not going to wing that cloud at all. It's kind of close, but we don't want to hit it. All right. And I'm fudging that all up, but he will finish right about there. I want to make sure he's not going to hit that cloud. Now, if he were advantaged and the Spitfire were neutral, he could get the shot off. Ooh, just a hair's breadth short, so he wouldn't be able to shoot anyway. So we're going to pop him back up to advantaged for the following turn. You guys can see how these clouds can definitely come in handy as cover to prevent you from getting shot at, and then as basically free burning advantage, boost maneuvers to either go faster or get an extra turn as you're screaming out of the clouds. That way you can loop in on the bad guy. I like that. So he's coming in here, and I think they're like wingmanning this. No, because he's not in the arc. Oh no, he's out of range, so he can't be tailing him. He's close, but he can't be tailing him because of that. This guy's going to do the same, and he's definitely going to have to do the turn because he's so close to the edge down over here. So we're going to pop him up. Oh, he's gonna, I think, just be shy of getting out of the cloud. Let's see. Nope, he's just past the cloud. Just barely past that cloud. So he burned his advantage to have up to 180 degree turn. And see, where do we want to? Oh, I'm going to have, he didn't get quite as far as I was hoping. I was wanting him to fly through and get to here and like turn around, but he's going to have to turn a lot harder. So he's not going to be in the best of positions. Now, here's the thing, actually. I might not take and actually have him climb, because if he climbs, he goes first. But if he doesn't climb, then he goes second. So remember this little chart, right? As we're looking at it, the neutral, it goes in pilot skill order, which generally you want to go first. But in X-Wing, a lot of times it's better to go last. Actually, almost every time it's better to go last. And in this case, it will be better for him to go last, because then he has to move out first and decide what he's going to do, which means he should be able to slot in on his 6 no matter what this guy does. So yes, definitely, we're not going to climb with him. We're going to leave him at neutral so he matches this, because otherwise, what's he going to do? He either has to burn advantage to come flying in like down to here, to loop around, to still be neutral and pointing at him and still not be able to do anything, or expose his tail section over to him. It's all about trying to make sure that you've got planes covering planes so you don't expose one of your aircraft to being tailed. And this guy's definitely not being tailed because his rear arc is nowhere near where he's pointing at. So you think about it. But if I bring him around to come over after these guys, then he's not going to be able to do much of anything good over there. So I think it's going to benefit him most just to leave him there and not take any pilot action. Now, he could try and outmaneuver, I do believe, though, to drop his pilot skill. He is within the 9 inches, and he's not going to succeed automatically, and he can force him to take a pilot skill test. Let me read just to make sure, but I think I'm right. Force him to take an outmaneuver test, see if he can get this guy at a disadvantaged state for the next turn, which will put him in an even better position. Yep. Doesn't say anything about him not being able to do it. So yeah, I am right here. He can do an outmaneuver test on him. Now, a higher pilot skill. So if he were outmaneuvering him, he would automatically succeed since he's a pilot skill 4 versus his 2. But since he's a lower pilot skill, that means he has to take a pilot skill test to not be outmaneuvered, which again is going to be his pilot skill plus the maneuverability of his aircraft, which is a 3. So that's going to give us, 7 dice to roll, and as usual, looking for spades. So he needs at least 1 spade to not be outmaneuvered, and he got it. So he is not outmaneuvered on this one. Now, had he outmaneuvered him, that would have been great, because it means he would have been disadvantaged for the next turn, putting him in a good position to shoot right off the bat into him. It'd be a deflection shot since he'd be shooting into the side of him, but at least it would get him a chance to put some boom chits on target. I got to use that outmaneuver ability a lot more, I think, than I've been using it. But we played a little long, but I think we're definitely set for the next round. The Germans look like they're in good positions. He's targeting him. He's targeting him. He's targeting him, and they can dip in any direction. So the Spitfires are definitely going to have to drop some cards trying to do some tight turns to see if they can get back in on these 109s. Maybe do some head-ons, dip for the clouds, try to fly away, something like that. Otherwise, they're going to be taking some boom chits. We'll have to see how it pans out. All right, that's going to be it for this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. I will be back with the next one soon. Y'all take care. I'll see you in the next one.